Early childhood phase education is almost a forgotten space. It's generally not found within the departments of education, it's found in the departments of social development. Research and science at Harvard would probably differ to say that that is a critical phase. Brain development and brain plasticity prior to the age of 5 or around 5 is absolutely singular in its importance of the human development. Maria Montessori understood that 100 years ago. An early childhood phase education, when properly implemented, allows for an open architecture. They learn to concentrate, they learn to love to learn, and they learn to take charge of their lives with great relish. I believe one of the most important future evolutions is how we tackle the education of the youngest humans on the planet. And if we teach those children at 2 years old that water scarcity is real and that food safety is real, and we teach children how to grow organics or how to not use chemicals, it becomes a matter of course. A child would never waste water if a child at 2 or 3 truly and implicitly understood why is a drop of water important. How do we learn to live better? And we just have to look at our societies to understand that something in that mix desperately needs to change. It's about the recreation almost and the redefinition of what society can be like. And Maria Montessori was just streets ahead of her time. Current research from Harvard shows us and tells us quite simply the biggest precursor to adult onset disease profiles comes from the stresses experienced or the traumas experienced in early childhood. And if we spend billions and billions of dollars in tertiary education, what do we get for that? If we were to spend billions and billions of dollars on pre-primary education, what payback would we get? The World Bank will tell you that the single biggest return on investment for a society is investing in the early years. Invest in early childhood development. We'd love to embody this evolutionary process where education needs to shift. I believe it needs to start in the earliest years. And whilst our work will encompass the entirety and the whole spectrum of Montessori education from 0 to 18 years, our main focus lies in the adaptation of how important the biggest shift is going to be in the 0 to 6 phase, where the absolute valorization of the child's true self needs to be identified, and we need to actually create an environment where the world's children can be truly seen as the greatest assets that we have. Hold that part of the world most intently. Imagine the outcomes we could have in the world and how much the world could contribute and how much that society of children schooled today and progressively over 100 years, what does that society look like if early childhood flourishing allows a new society to emerge, or partly a new society to emerge? That's the thing that I am just the most excited about.
The Indaba Montessori Institute is a teacher training centre based in the winelands of South Africa. We provide training to students wishing to work with children from all across South Africa and beyond. We are part of a community of like-minded organisations, which means we are a living, functioning group. We have schools on site with children all around, and there's a vegetable garden where the students do community service. We hope to take each student on a journey that's more than just the teacher training. That's what's exciting for us, is to show them that it's more than just the training. It's about how they're choosing to live their lives, and it starts becoming a way of life, not just a way of teaching.
The first module we've actually spent exploring the home environment, how to create the home environment. We look at from conception, exactly the journey from conception right up until 3 years. Particularly, we focused on what we call the symbiotic period, this very special time of bonding that happens in the first 8 weeks of life.
The greatest energy I get from being involved in what we're trying to achieve is to lay some foundations for a bit of a fresh start in education. There are people who've believed in Montessori for generations. What we'd like to do is offer as an additional platform, and in South Africa our goal is to create one of the world's most important AMI training centers, which really speaks to multicultural application. I think in our obligation as an institute and a fund is to empower these individuals to take these systems and to take the Montessori method, which is incredibly able to adjust and adapt to the circumstance. That's what Montessori meant by pedagogy of place.
For me, what we offer that is so special is that we take each student from when they think that they're just going to be working with children in an environment, and suddenly they find it in every aspect of their life.
It has surpassed my imagination, surpassed my expectations, surpassed everything I can think of. So with all this knowledge and experience, I guess as a teacher, the best thing for me to do now is to step back and watch and let the child lead me.